Welcome folks, this is Way and Tear, yet another outdoor and gear review channel. Today it's flashlight time again. I'm reviewing the Sofirn C8L. This light was sent in to me by Sofirn a few weeks ago. I had time to actually work with it, play with it. Now, although this is a free sample, I'm not getting paid for the review, and I wouldn't even bother reviewing it if I wasn't fully convinced it's a good flashlight at a good price point. I like the flashlights from Sofirn and Workhorse. This is my typical night shift flashlight from Workhorse. And the Sofirn C8L comes in really handy if you need a very potent flashlight that is an all-round flashlight. Okay, just from the start, this is orange peel reflector. It gives you a good hotspot, but also a very usable spill. So you can work close up, but you can also reach far out. But it's not a super tight hotspot. Also, it's a very large 3XHP high LED. The light color, I think this one is 5000K if I'm not wrong. In real life, I experienced it as not too cold. It's rather neutral. And the color rendition is quite good. So a pleasant light. Not as warm as I would prefer, but definitely something that is absolutely all right if you want to explore stuff, explore a cave, walk through the woods. Now, this flashlight is based off a 21700 cell, so one of the larger batteries, rechargeables, 5000 milliamps. Can also run with a 18650 cell, so the smaller cell. And for this, it comes with an adapter, if you even need the adapter. The flashlight is USB-C rechargeable. There is a rubber cover here, which is, of course, not the best solution, but it is well done because the machining is great on the flashlight. So it is absolutely water resistant, although it's not for diving or snorkeling. But I have done that with, at least I did snorkeling with similar lights like that. The rubber cover is actually covering very well. The Workhorse has the same solution. The True Night, for example, this is also a 21700 flashlight. So just look at the size. This has just a very large head, and it's excellent, by the way, this build format for heat dissipation. And there is nothing that goes past a large reflector. A large reflector is a large reflector. It's a big plus. Now, this one is also 21700 light. As for the build quality on the True Night, it's also very good. Man, that's rad, huh? But the rubber cover for the port is very flimsy, and it easily opens on its own. So I wouldn't even trust this rubber cover, but that is a well-made port cover. It's also recessed, of course, behind the head. Yeah, you see the beautiful fins. It really does well at heat dissipation. It offers good run times. It doesn't get too hot. Now it offers more than 3000 lumens on turbo. And the runtime, generally, I would say on 1300 lumens, it gives you, that's a lot of light, but it gives you more than 2 hours runtime. You can use this light without worrying. You can just leave it on because it has active temperature regulation. So it regulates down the light output according to the temperature. And it does that in a very subtle way. I could never tell the difference really because, of course, the eye also adapts. I just had it running. It runs pretty warm on turbo, but not exceedingly hot. And the light output doesn't fluctuate. So this light is definitely, well, an endurance flashlight. It's not just giving you a bright flash. It actually gives you a lot of light for a long time. And of course, in a low mode or something like that, you can run that thing for, let's say, 20 hours or something like that. No? And low mode is still not very dim. It still gives you like 100 lumens. So again, if you need a light that just gives you good output for a long time, this is definitely it because the heat dissipation is excellent, the electronics are excellent, and definitely also something interesting for a bike, like if you do downhill bike racing. Yeah, you see the internals, you have a spring here, like gold-plated spring. I imagine it's gold, I'm not sure, I don't know. Now, On the electronic side, it has all the usual bells and whistles that we have come to get used to. It does, of course. It has, first of all, it has a mineral glass lens, tough mineral glass lens. It has the active temperature regulation technology, and I imagine all the tech that is needed to protect the battery. That is standard in Sofirn and workhorse lights for quite a while. You can power this light directly from a USB source while it's also charging, so you can still have a little bit of light, but only on eco mode. So eco mode, that would be this mode, okay? Even while it's charging, it gives you this light output. It's not suggested, but you can definitely do it while you charge it. Now, the interesting thing here is the tail switch, which is excellent. It comes on the last mode that you have used, okay? All the time, every single time. But if you do a double press, you have the turbo mode instantly. And I think if you do something like a triple press, you could even enter a strobe, but you see it's not panic proof. It doesn't work. I wasn't even able to trigger that right now. So if you do a double click here, you also enter turbo mode. And the next click brings you back to the last mode used. The user interface is absolutely excellent, and I like that it has a mechanical feel to the tail switch with an extra gimmick function, like an electronic function with double press to turbo, which is absolutely awesome as well. So I find myself using the tail switch all the time, and rarely do I use the side switch, which is also recessed, well protected, easy to find. Build quality on the light is excellent. Again, as I said, IPX8, it's water resistant. It feels really, really good in hand. If you have something like tactical pants, you can easily put it in the side pockets. You don't need an extra flashlight holder. It's still very comfortable. It's very easy to carry. Now, if you need a substantial flashlight, this is definitely a light to bring. It's brighter than this, the True Night, which goes 2,500 lumens. It's noticeable brighter than this one, much brighter than this one. This one is a multi-LED setup floodlight, very different. Of course, just to show you the difference here. This is more for close-up, not for range. But anyways, this one is definitely better to bring than other bright lights because it just has the capacity to dissipate the heat. It's just great in hand. This type of light is just so satisfying to operate. You know what I mean? It's just wonderful. And that is, it makes or breaks a light. The weight is not extreme. It has good weight to it, of course, aluminum construction, but it's not overly heavy, and it's absolutely carryable. You can even carry it in substantial side pockets. So the Sofirn C8L to me is definitely a great flashlight that you will use when you need something substantial that is still not, let's say, very large like this one. Like this one has a comparable output. Trustfire T62 runs with 3 18650, so stick light. I also like that one a lot. But honestly, when will we pack this light? Really? Never, probably. Or very rarely. I mean, it fits nicely in a backpack, but it's more something for around at home. Or pop can flashlight. Let's be honest, how often do you pack a light like that? Okay, it gives you maybe 5,000-6,000 lumens, depending. There are some with 10,000 in this format. But how often will you pack something like this? How comfortable is it in a pocket? How practical is it to have in the backpack? I'd rather carry a Red Bull or something like that. Now this is absolutely superior when it comes to real life function and use. So this is definitely a light that is in a sweet spot. It's made in the tradition of the C8 flashlights that have been around since probably more than a decade. Like you have a larger head, you have a tube. Usually they were done for 18650 batteries. Now they're for 21700. Now, absolutely, I can totally recommend this flashlight. Not because it's free. I have used so many Sofirn lights for such a long time. I have had almost never any problems. Same is true for workers. The one thing that I want to emphasize, though, for hard outdoor use and permanent use, be still aware of those rubber covers. On this one, it once came loose. They're a little bit prone to, the wear and tear is strong. And on lights, when you really use them often, and you just might rip it off. So if you really go into a hard use scenario, maybe take some duct tape and tape it down or something like that. Or if you go on a boat with it. So this is the only aspect that I wish they would change in future iterations. A different charging solution. I even like this charging solution very, very well, where you actually have a USB-C charger on the battery, which is perfectly protected inside. So that is a pretty neat solution as well. Now, I hope you liked the review. Leave a comment. Again, the Sofirn C8L, that is definitely a flashlight for people who need a potent flashlight. It's definitely, you can collect it, but it's not meant to be a collector's item. It's actually meant to be a serious tool. This was Wear and Tear, over and out.